If that happened to Stockport, one has to respect the record that they have this season, and particularly in cup competitions, Alan. And I think Graham Souness and Southampton will respect that. But I think what Graham Souness would also be stressing his side is, we are a Premiership side. We have better quality players, and if we play to our maximum, if we match them for commitment, for determination, then the skill should take care of itself. But as I mentioned before, West Ham's game, that doesn't always happen in a cup tie.
So I think it'll be the Southampton players from the Premiership perhaps who are more nervous as they take the field than their second division opponents. It has all the ingredients of another night of dramatic cup football. A struggling Premiership team, opponents from 2 divisions below them. They've got a full house, a rainy night, and perhaps another major upset in the offing. It's the first time in Stockport's history that they've reached the quarter-final of a major competition. Can their incredible season hit yet another peak tonight? The referee is Richard Poulain. The pitch at Edgley Park has been protected for the last few days from the frost, but since we're only a few miles from Manchester, you won't be surprised to hear that it's been raining heavily. It still is, and the pitch is sanded and likely to cut up. Southampton in the red and white stripes, Stockport County in the blue shirts and white shorts. And it really has been a season beyond their wildest dreams. A place in the semi-finals of one of the country's 2 major cup competitions would round things off nicely for the moment. But it's promotion to the first division, that's their real aim. Hughes brought back into the Southampton starting lineup tonight at the expense of Ail Berkovic, the Israeli international. If you haven't seen much of Stockport, I can tell you they're a footballing side. Both teams playing with a 4-4-2 system tonight. Sean Connolly with the early throw, looking for Alan Armstrong. Madison now back in the centre-half position. He's played in midfield and even occasionally up front in his long career with Southampton. And a dangerous cross. The shot on the turn by Armstrong was only just blocked.
Well, he elected to go on his own arm, but Marsden made a lovely run into the box to give him some good support.
Jones, who had an excellent game in the previous round against West Ham, the former Wolves goalkeeper. 6 years at Molineux. And a very good signing made in the summer by Dave Jones, the Stockport manager, who unbelievably was under threat of losing his job early in the season when they lost 4 of their first 8 games and were just 1 place off the bottom of Division 2. Now they're 4th. And indeed, they're the only club in English football looking for success on 4 different fronts. Still in the FA Cup, still in the Auto Windscreen Shield for the clubs from the lower divisions, and of course Dave Jones' team right in the promotion picture.
Yeah, I bet they're not complaining about playing too many games.
Cavaco, little Portuguese player, another of his inspired signings. Now on the left, the former Wrexham man Durkin. And Hobble will be a powerful obstacle to him tonight. The big Dutchman. Stack did well to lose his man, but the referee says he used his considerable bulk to do so, and that's a free kick.
That's good play from the defenders. I like to see that, and it's important that the likes of Gannon and Flynn do that to Letizia and Austinstadt. The ball's played up to them, they're always putting them under pressure, making them play quickly.
Flynn, the captain, has gone forward. Armstrong just in front of him. The free kick sliced away by Madison. He didn't really know where that was going.
I'm not so sure they had the marking right there either, Alan. They were short at the back post.
Brett Angel will be a target here for the long throw. He's on the near post. Armstrong behind him in the 6-yard box, and Angel wins it, and that's a difficult one for Besant.
Little tester for Dave Besant in the opening 3 minutes. Ball slippy. Talked about how wet it is. Normally this would be quite a comfortable catch for a goalkeeper, but the opening minutes of a cup tie, under pressure. from Gannon. Good clean catch. Good start from the home team.
Cannon's headed clearance, Hughes underneath it, but Stockport have it back again. Durkin turning it long and just cleared in the nick of time by Ken Moncow, who's there again. Headed away by Todd. And now Angel. Durkin making the overlap for him down the left. Madison's clearance. Ostenstadt wins their header. This is Hughes for Southampton. Tizier unable to get his first touch. Durkin seeing a lot of the ball early on, and that's a fine ball too for Armstrong, who felt he was prevented from making progress there by Moncow's challenge. So does the referee. Free kick.
I think he's probably right. Armstrong just gets a little touch on this ball. They look a little bit ragged, disjointed at the back at the moment.
Moncow has to try and keep the ball away from Brett Angel here, who is very important to Stockport in these set pieces. Bennett with the free kick, and it was Van Hobbel who came across and got it away, but only as far as Durkin. Back in it goes. Pleasant's quick to react this time.
Decent ball that, you know.
Magilton make sure that Southampton keep possession. Besant. His last game was in the FA Cup defeat at Reading, and before that the Premiership match against Liverpool at the Dow, in which he made that mistake which led to John Barnes' winning goal. And then lost his place to the new signing from Barnet, Mike Taylor, who had already played for Barnet in the competition and couldn't play tonight. Charlton shot that back pass in short, and Besant has 3 times been called upon here in the opening 5 minutes to come out of his goal quickly.
That's balmy. You don't do that, when you're under pressure. I mean, just put this out. Just play a long ball over the top. He was complaining that he had no target up top, and he was right. Well, you don't need a target. If you're under pressure, you play it over the top, turn the back 4 of Stockport, and then settle yourself.
Connolly. Charlton got that one away rather more convincingly. Cannon. Looking again for Brett Angel. On for Durkin. Sensible ball back to Lee Todd, the fullback. In it goes to Armstrong. It's a good turn by him, and the shot caught out Besant. Bennett really hit that one with some power.
Well, if they wondered whether they were going to be in a game, Southampton, they know within the opening 5 minutes they are. This is super football. Not just played lazily in, recklessly in, it's fed into the front man. Bennett joins in the play. I tell you, Dave Besant, I think, is pretty happy that was right down his throat.
Todd again for Stockport. Armstrong making the run. Madison with good anticipation. Looking from Letizia, and again he's failed to get his first touch here.
Well, Dave Jones couldn't last for a better 5 minutes for the side, apart from getting an opening goal. They would have stressed Graham Souness the importance of a good start, not to give anything away quickly in this match or early. And they'll just be a little bit worried about the way they've started defensively. I felt that.
Smack on the jaw there for Armstrong. Geordie lad, who they signed a couple of years ago from Newcastle. He never made the first team at St James's Park, but he's done really well here. He scored over 40 goals in his time. And Cow will take the free kick. Captain Flynn got it away. And again, it's turned out to be an excellent ball as well to the little Portuguese player, Cavaco. Found Angel on the penalty spot. Here he is again. Moncow has been called upon to make another important header clear.
They just can't get out, can they, Alan? They can't, even when they clear the ball, it's just coming straight back at the moment. The service up to Osterstad, Letizia hasn't been good enough for them to get hold of it. Too many balls like that, too many fighting balls for them. It's just coming straight back.
There by Hughes on Connolly. Captain Flynn will take it. Too flat for the intended target of Angel. Bennett wins it back though. Marsden just beaten to it by Magilton, and that was a good ball, but excellent defending. Todd getting there ahead of Letizier. That's too strong for Durkin.
Yeah, he was unlucky. It's some good marking, I have to say. Sometimes when you watch the Premiership, teams are attacking, and you look at the back, and the defensive lads aren't quite tight enough in the front lads. So you couldn't say that about Stockport when they've been on the attack. Whoever's been delegated to mark Letizier and Ostenstad, there hasn't been any air between them at all.
But now Ostenstad, or momentarily, thought he had an inkling of an opening. It didn't last for long. Madison gets it clear, and Letizier was rather lazily coming back from an offside position then. Jones gets a lot of height and distance on the kick. Turned on by Armstrong. Angel almost getting in behind Moncau. Quickly taken throw by Marsden. Finds Armstrong again. This is Todd. Well, that's the first misplaced pass really in any of the Stockport build-ups we've seen in the opening few minutes here, Andy.
Yeah, at least they're prepared to try things. It got a rather little congested, too many players around, but they were prepared to try and just lift it over people's head. I thought we all thought they were going 4-4-2 Southampton, but they're more a 4-3-3, Alan. David Hughes is really tucked in narrow on this left side. Matt Oakley's been really wide and pushed further forward in the right. It's almost a 4-3-3 they've elected to start with.
Letizier finally sees a piece of the action and gives the ball away carelessly to Gavacco, but it's won back by Magilton. Now Charlton. Hughes to his left, trying to thread it through. Madison defends well again against Brett Angel. It'll be a big test for Madison. He's giving away a few inches in height, I would think, to 6'3" Brett Angel tonight, but again he climbs higher. Hughes. Ostenstad chasing here, and Gannon almost got himself into trouble, got out of it well. This is Todd. That's a heck of a ball.
Great effort. But they really are forcing them back in that attack there. Matt Oakley almost playing it right full back.
Stockport with a formidable record this season here at Edgeley Park. They've won 12 of their 17 matches here in all competitions and lost only 2. Angel for that, finding Armstrong, his attacking partner.
Well, you stick in for Southampton now. That's the important thing when you're a Premiership side. This is good play again. Little flick on and then he spins, goes to join up with a strike partner again. That's good play. 22 goals between them this season, Angel and Armstrong, and a lot of bigger clubs looking at Armstrong, I gather. Magilton knocking it long. Letizier beaten to it by Flynn. Gannon hooks it clear. And it's certainly the second division team who've made the more confident opening here, as you'd expect. It's that one defeat in 22 games, whereas Southampton, of course, are on a poor run. They've lost 7 of their last 10 games in the Premiership, and now just one place off the bottom. Angel. And it goes from Marsden towards Gavacco. Angel's there again to find Connolly. Gavacco, Charlton beat into it. Hughes with an excellent ball out to Letizier. Oakley finds him again. Hobble. Nielsen. Southampton settling a little now and playing their own football. Magilton, the Northern Ireland international, keeps it moving to Letizier. And again, Magilton
the key to this move, and that's a good-looking ball towards Oakley. And the shot, the first problem for Paul Jones, really. It was a half-hit effort.
Well, it's the first time Southampton have controlled the game for any time at all. Played 7 or 8 passes, kept the ball, and that was a threat. The threat was there.
Hughes didn't really get any power on the shot. Marsden. Two excellent players in the centre of midfield in Marsden and Bennett. Two classy players who can win the ball and play the ball as well. Forward by Flynn. It's got to be precise on this up top.
Yeah, straight pass has to be. It's as straight as that. It's just going to bounce and skip away.
Stockport unbeaten in 11 cup games this season. They've won 10, drawn 1. The draw as well was at Premiership West Ham. And as I mentioned before, they beat Stoke away in the FA Cup third round. Not many teams win at the Victoria Ground. Made something like £500,000 already out of their run in the Coca-Cola. Dave Jones was telling me he'd like to get his hands on some of that money to strengthen the squad, I'm sure.
I'm just looking at the Southampton bench, and I mentioned David Hughes and both Graham Souness and Phil Borsma are up, indicating the Hughes to push a little bit further wide.
And Terry Cooper, experienced man, right-hand man for Graham Souness. This capacity crowd of 12,000 at Edgeley Park turn up the noise level. Madison beats Angel too, but it's turned on by Armstrong. It's a fine ball to Kabako. He's done well here, Kabako. They had the extra player in Nielsen.
Good covering in the midfield player. That was a great ball from Armstrong. On the volley, look at this. Outside the right foot, absolutely perfect. Just when Kabako thought, I've got past him, Nielsen comes over and closes him out.
Gannon and Flynn come forward. It goes again to Angel. It was Charlton who got it clear. Connolly. Todd, not on his best foot, and I think he showed why then. Charlton looking for Ostenstadt, and that's a fine ball. Now a chance for Ostenstadt. Can he finish? He can. Excellent goal. 16 minutes gone. Egil Ostenstadt scores for Southampton.
Well, what a lovely finish. And all from that missed kick right in the halfway line from Lee Todd. It was a bit of clearance that he didn't deal with. And that's a straight ball through. Ostenstadt's pace is too much for anyone. What a cool finish. Jones comes up, he stands big. One place you can't protect there. Slots it in between his legs. It's a lovely finish from Ostenstadt. Look at the power. Composure when it was needed right at the end.
And the Norwegian international gets its 8th goal in 20 appearances since they signed him in September. And that has turned the game in Southampton's favour, and it has to be said, was against the run of play, really, Andy.
Of course, 15 great minutes Stockport have had. Dominated the ball, dominated possession. And that's a little example of Premiership finishing. One chance, and he took it. And he took it ever so well.
And here he is again, finding Charlton.
What Graham Souness won't want is what happened with West Ham, Alan. They got the lead in this game. You and I were here, but within a matter of minutes has conceded it.
Yeah, that's right. The own goal by Ian Dowie, getting Stockport right back into the game, and then Brett Angel scored what proved to be the winner. Here's Todd, beaten to it by Nielsen. But that will settle Southampton's nerves just when they needed them settling, and they've got a free kick now. First foul, says Todd. In case the referee was thinking of reaching for the yellow card.
I think he had a little think about it, the referee, but
Southampton, not surprisingly, taking an age now over the kick. Jilton finally lifts in, and there's an offside decision. The linesman has flagged here, and the referee seemed to take a long time to see him.
Yeah, he was over the other side of the pitch. The referee couldn't see past all the players. See, Ostenstadt's the one who just drifts in. Flag is up pretty quickly. That gives another chance to see this very cool finish. He's got good pace, Ostenstadt. Gets his body between Todd and the ball. That's a lovely slot. That makes him feel a lot better now. 15 nervy minutes it must have been for Graham Souness. They're a lot happier now.
Armstrong's header, Kabako. Nielsen challenged him and hurt himself in the process, but here's Letizier. Well, usually you expect him to get the ball straight under control in a situation like that. This time he didn't, to Stockport's relief.
Well, again, it's a straight ball. Not a lot in it. Touch and go whether he's offside. He's allowed to go. First touch let him down.
Oakley in possession for Southampton. Looking again for Letizier. Good calm defending by Sean Connolly. There's a very flat kick there by Jones. He's got away with it. Angels lay off, and Durkin didn't have the pace to get round Van Hobble. If it's not working out, on the wide positions they can easily switch Kabako and Durkin around. They're both comfortable on either flank. I'm sure that's something we'll see sooner rather than later. Cow gets his foot right through the clearance. Not a very accurate one. Played in the semi-final with Chelsea 6 years ago when they lost to Sheffield Wednesday. And he's there to win it back again, Ostenstad. Gannon hits it long. Hughes knocking it forward. Gannon almost found Armstrong. Good defending again by Madison.
He's competed well, Neil Madison. You mentioned he's not the biggest who will play in that centre-back area that you'll find, but he has got good spring. He's used it well.
And Mike Flynn, who's come over to take the throw, has a prodigious long throw on him. Angel, the usual target, surrounded by Southampton players, and it was Charlton who inadvertently knocked it back into the 6-yard box. Good reflex actions again from Besant.
Yeah, it's been pretty straightforward what Dave Besant's been asked to do tonight, but his handling up till now has been first class. Under a bit of pressure yet again. It was a good clean catch from the big goalkeeper.
Now Ostenstadt's got in behind the defenders again here. But that's a goal kick. He actually scored the winner in the last round of the competition as well, Egil Ostenstad. That was against Oxford. And now has 8 goals, including that memorable hat-trick, of course, when Southampton beat Manchester United 6-3 at the Dell. Coming up to the midway point of the first half, and Southampton, who made a very nervy opening here, are in front. Marsden for Stockport. Connolly. Charlton in quickly out of Kabako. Stockport anxious to get on with it, a little too anxious. Connolly stealing a yard. Armstrong's cross, he's earned them a corner. And this is an obvious threat. Along the ground. Now again it's too flat really with all those 6 foot plus players. This time Durkin does get some height on the cross. Cavaco is untidy, and can't do that too often against the Premiership side. As Nielsen looks for Hobble down the right.
It's a pity about the corner now. They actually worked the first part of it really well. Southampton went to sleep a little. They just worked a little short corner. But then it was up to Marsden then to put in a tailing cross, I think it was.
Gannon with an excellent ball down the left-hand side. It was unlucky that.
Yeah, they've switched the two wide men, you can see from there. Cavaco's gone left side and Durkin this near side.
By Magilton for Letizia, but no problem for Mike Flynn, the legend in these parts. Flynn, it was actually their record signing, £150,000. That was all when they signed him from Preston 4 years ago. And his long throw-ins are as valuable a part of his game as anything. And that one has won them a free kick. Stays back for this one. Gannon, the other centre-half, has gone forward. It's in towards Angel, who won it well and turns it forward for Armstrong. Excellent goal. 25 minutes gone, Stockport are level.
Well, Armstrong's delighted with his finish, but I tell you what, a big thank you to his strike partner, Alan. He does brilliantly, Angel. Thrusting muscles, Montcount back, and the control in the layoff was simply excellent. He opens it up for Armstrong. Watch this. Chest control. One-touch layoff. It's opened up for Armstrong. It's a great finish. But Angel didn't have play his part. That's a super goal.
And Stockport are flying again now. Here's Durkin. Angel in a good position. Just a bit too long for him, but he's still battling away, and he's got it as well. It comes to Todd. Now Marsden. Good looking ball. Oh, they scored again. This is unbelievable stuff. Cavaco has given them the lead within a minute of the equaliser.
Wow, this is incredible stuff. Unbelievable. I'm not so sure about the marking, I have to say. It's a lovely ball fed into the near post. But I just wonder if Graham Souness will question whether one or two have got to sleep a little. He's standing in there and absolutely acres. You just can't believe he can find as much room as he has done. Lovely ball in, but look at the move. Hardly any from him. He stood in there. It's a lovely header. Guided past Bessett, giving the goalkeeper absolutely no chance.
Well, what a team this is. They went a goal behind in the last round here against West Ham. They came back to lead 2-1 by half-time. They went a goal behind tonight, and now they're back in front again. That is incredible. Calmest man in the ground, Dave Jones.
56 seconds, unbelievable.
And it would have been so easy for them to lose heart, having made such an excellent start and then gone a goal behind, wouldn't it?
Well, it might have been, I think, under normal circumstances, Alan, but not when you look at the record. I think they even went one down at Upton Park, didn't they? Got a late equaliser.
That's right.
To bring West Ham back here. So, I mean, it suggests all along that they've never been a team whose heads drop.
Now, Letizier's free kick caused a problem there because Jones started to come out for it and Flynn didn't realise. So Southampton have got a corner.
Well, I know it finished 2-1 after 3 first half goals against West Ham, but dare I suggest it might not be the end of the goal scoring tonight. I certainly think there'll be more chances. Whether the players will be up to finishing them, that's up to them.
Letizier takes the corner. It's an excellent one towards Maddison near post, but they've got it clear. And Letizier took a little too long on the ball, and they're really flying now. Stockport. They're oozing confidence, and why not? This could be one heck of a tie now.
It would have been could be.
Could be, exactly.
And you're not for punishment, you, aren't you? You're a hard taskmaster, you, Paddy.
27 minutes gone, and it's been full of action and excitement and excellent football here. And no doubt Middlesbrough, their team and their manager amongst the viewers tonight. They play the winners in the semi-final over 2 legs, and they'll be very impressed by what they've seen already from the second division team. Well, whatever happens to them this season, Stockport have made an indelible impression, I think, on everyone.
This is a season they'll remember the supporters, that's for sure. But are we suggesting for a minute that it might be over? And there's not more to come.
Stack going down the left, good tackle by Connolly. And to the huge delight of the home fans, Charlton's cross has gone straight out for a goal kick. Let's tell you now about 2 nights of big fight action coming up in February here on Sky. Prince Nassim Hamed's unification fight with Tom Johnson, and Lennox Lewis tries to regain his heavyweight title against Oliver McCall. 2 of 5 world title fights to be seen on Sky Box Office. For more information on this special pay-per-view event, call us on 0990 800 888. That's 0990 800 888. Hobble hits it long, and it's a useful ball as well towards Ostenstadt. Jones took a risk then, but he had to in that situation.
It was well judged. He must have been very close to being outside the 18-yard line when he met that. That would have been his concern. Linesman was in a pretty good position.
Magilton. Southampton stunned. It's not a bad ball towards Oakley, but the defender just did enough.
He did well, Todd Allen. He had no intention of going to win the ball. All he wanted to do is go with Oakley, just let it run through for a goal kick. But this was instant early. Ostenstadt has got pace, Allen. He's a threat over the top. And Jones comes out. Oh yeah, just about made it. Well judged. It's pretty dominant from the home side at the moment.
Such is Southampton's defensive record this season that Stockport would have fancied getting at least 1 goal tonight, but 2 in a minute. I don't suppose even they would have dreamed of that.
No, keeping clean sheets has been a problem for Southampton all season. That's now only 5 in 30 games that they've managed to come away from without conceding a goal.
He doesn't even need to say anything, really, does he? Just got to look at him. The shake of the head told 1,000 words, really, didn't it? And Hobble trying to get Southampton back into it here. Charlton's downward header, and again no real communication between centre-half and goalkeeper. They could have unnecessarily got themselves into trouble here, but Ostenstadt couldn't control that sort of half-pass, half-shot from Letizier.
Well, that is just lack of communication, quite simple. Paul Jones should have been making the defender's mind up. It was an easy task for it just to have drifted through the goalkeeper. They'll be quite happy to take their time, get a breather, any little chance they get now. Great response, I have to say. You can be nothing but impressed with the attitude and the quality in this side. Who's to say they're not worth the 2-1 at the moment? I certainly can.
No, absolutely. That Angel is showing the qualities that made Everton sign him and give him a couple of seasons in the Premiership. Strangely enough, he only scored 1 goal, and I think it was about 20-odd games at the top level for Everton. The part he played in Armstrong's goal, outstanding.
When I talked about Ostenstadt's finish as being a Premiership quality finish. Well, I tell you what, Armstrong's and Cavacos were even better. Armstrong so cool, didn't rush, placed it beautifully wide of Besant and underneath him. And Cavacos, lovely little glancing header. Goalkeeper no chance.
And Hobble. Todd plays it long. Armstrong's layoff to Angel. These two combine so well, but Armstrong's offside this time. He's only 21, Alan Armstrong, and often happens, doesn't it? The players develop a little late. Couldn't find his way through all the international talent ahead of him at Newcastle, but is really thriving here as Letizier sets up Hughes. And Hughes slipped twice at vital moments. Angel chasing and chasing this ball here. Won't give Maddison an easy ride. It's gone straight to Marsden. Charlton gets it clear. And Hughes loses out to Bennett. The ball really fizzing around here. Nielsen for Southampton. And Hobble making a run down the right. Good defending by Todd. A smashing little player he looks. And a good ball out to Armstrong. And again. Well, that looked like a foul on Bennett, but the referee didn't see it that way on rather, not Bennett. And he retaliated in the end.
I'm enjoying this. Good stuff.
Angel wins the header, but there was no one in support this time. Stockport have never met Southampton in a cup tie, and the last time they met in a league game, almost 40 years ago, Stockport won that match here 4-0. And of course they have never been in the lofty stages of the quarter-final of any of the major cup competitions in their history. Here's Angel for them. Bennett looking for Armstrong. And Cow, the defender, he's still got the cross in.
They work well. There's been an awful lot of work done on this side on the training ground. You only have to just sit and watch them when they take corners, take set pieces, throw-ins, the way the front man lays it off and spins away. And the other one, Armstrong, comes in behind them, making diagonal runs, always on the move. That doesn't just happen. It takes a lot of hard work.
Oshkenstad winning the header at the other end, but good defending once more from Stockport, who from back to front have been very impressive in the first 36 minutes here. Armstrong reaches it, and as a result of his efforts has got a corner.
But also very willing runners, those front two. That ball played into a corner. I can think of a few players that might have just given that up. But Armstrong wasn't prepared to do that, and because he didn't give it up, he's earned his side a corner.
And Gannon came flying in there. He had to reach that one. Besant just fingertipped it away as the big centre-half was crashing in behind him.
Good touch from the goalkeeper, that. Couldn't quite catch the ball, but helps it on, and if you're going to help it on, and make sure it goes a fair distance.
Little touch out there by Cavaco, scorer of the second goal, and it comes out to Bennett. The whistle has already gone for a free kick to Southampton. Well, very often in cup competitions you get sides from the lower divisions lifting themselves up and playing above themselves for games, but when you think how well they're doing in the league as well, Stockport, this has been a season of consistency once they got those first few games out of the way.
But I still think you lift yourself when you play Premiership sides or sides above you, Alan, and they've done that. What's been impressive in their cup record is that consistently they've done that. And that when they've had to lift their game for a team better on paper than them, they've done that for their manager, for their supporters, for themselves.
They ought to be remembered they won at Blackburn as well in an earlier round, and indeed scored 5 goals at Sheffield United. As I think I mentioned before the match, no fluke their success for sure.
But we do have something like 50 minutes left in this match, so an awful lot of work to be done from Stockport's point of view before this game we can consider it won.
Let's just remind you that there's more football coming up on Sky. Tomorrow night, in fact, the Scottish Cup third round tie between Hibernian and Aberdeen from Easter Road. That's on Sky Sport 3 and starts at 7:30, the programme that is. Letizier awaits the free kick, marked by the Stockport captain Flynn. Madison will take it. Cow's got up there. Just well one back by Nielsen to find Charlton. A lot of players forward here, Southampton. Charlton forced very wide though. Letizier, Southampton's captain. And Hobble. No contest. Brilliant run by Van Hobble. But in the end, just one step too far perhaps.
Yeah, just a little bit too much on the ball. Just overran it slightly. I don't think anyone fancied getting in his way.
And suddenly it looked as though Armstrong was clear again then for Stockport. Jim Magill. Letizier. And that means danger. And it was his own player, Hughes, that the ball hit en route.
I think Paul Jones would have got over to the shot anyway had it not hit Hughes. But it certainly would have been a lot more difficult than it ended up. This is always a danger with Letizier on your side. If you don't go and press him, he's certainly not frightened pulling the trigger from anywhere.
Armstrong's header. Away by Charlton. Good football. Oshkenstad. Good support play by Letizier. Finds Nielsen. Couldn't quite thread it through. That was the intention for Van Hobble on the right, but now the Dutchman has possession. Nielsen again. Well, he missed an awful lot of Van Hobble there. He's like a heavyweight boxer, this fella, and it's under the advertising hoarding and everything else didn't come crashing then. Actually won the Turkish Cup last season for Galatasaray, with Graham Souness as his manager, of course, and Graham Souness is very keen to bring him over to England, and thinks he's we haven't seen the best of him yet, he says. Here's Magill. Bennett not giving him an inch, but then in the end giving him a nudge. Free kick. Charlton's free kick in the last 4 minutes of the half here. Southampton of the Premiership, 2-1 down to second division Stockport County, despite having taken the lead. Nielsen doing well. And clearance by Cannon. Oshkenstad. Connolly. Cannon's tackle was a good one. Marsden available when the clearance came to him. Good work from Moncal. Van Hobble, strong as he is, was beaten there, and that's a foul that surely will mean retribution for Moncal. I would have thought that's got to be a booking, and it is.
Yeah, to be fair, the referee's kept the card pretty much in his pocket. But you can't ignore this. He's just out-tricked. A little bit of quality, and he skipped past Ken Moncal. Looked a clumsy tackle, was a clumsy tackle. Yellow card, a fair result, I think, from that. Yeah, Mr. Pulleins hesitated before bringing up the first yellow card, and that
postponed, fully merited.
Well, they want to put a bit of quality in here, Stockport. Approaching half-time, and they've got a free kick in a good area. Just think what a boost it would be if they could nick another one. Remember that second half against West Ham, we had to endure long spells of pressure, and it was edgy for them. How they'd love to just pinch one here. So when you're out there with the ball, Tom Bennett's on it, it'd be important for him to put a bit of quality in there. Two centre-backs have gone up to join Angel.
And Armstrong's on his feet and ready to continue as well. Bennett's free kick over the head of Angel. Cleared by Madison, who's having an excellent game at the back for Southampton tonight. Just come off the transfer list, in fact, and signed a new 3-year contract. Now he's got to face another of those Flynn long throws, touched on by Angel and off the defender for a corner. That's what Southampton didn't need. 2-1 down, and a bit of late pressure in the half from Stockport. Towards Gannon and Angel. Besson gets it clear, and Marsden has completely sliced his effort. But back in it comes. Gannon winning the header, and in the end it was Madison who cleared his lines. Finally beaten by Hughes. A little bit of unpleasantness creeps in, and Hughes' elbow went up, and that's a free kick to Stockport.
Much in that. You just get tangled a little bit. Handbags.
Hughes in possession again. Trying to use the pace of Ostenstadt, but Flynn equal to it. Nielsen. Good ball for Letizier. Oh, lovely skill, but Berkham provided the extra defender that time. Home supporters shrieking, wanting to hear the half-time whistle. I don't know why, because they're not exactly under pressure here, Stockport.
They want to breathe, they want to take stock again. Can it be happening again, think of themselves.
Mind you, I heard a serious announcement just before the match. The PA said that the lager was off in the ground, so why would you want a half-time if you can't get a lager? Heard of a pub, by the way, that has got a special scheme going when Sky show these live games. I'll come back to that in a moment, because here's Armstrong, and it was a good effort.
Well played, son. Well played again.
I was going to say, this particular pub, apparently, they sell beer at giveaway prices as long as it remains at 0-0 in a game. So they've saved some money tonight, thanks to these two.
Yeah, it might have been 3. First part of that was excellent, just lifted it over Charlton's head. And he started it about a yard wider of David Besson.
Well, there's the half-time whistle, and what a superb 45 minutes it's been for Stockport. For one blot, the fact that they went a goal behind against the run of play when Edel Ostenstadt's pace and good finishing saw the Premiership team take what at that point was not really a deserved lead. It was a lead they didn't hold on to for very long. Wonderful link-up play between Angel and Armstrong, and it was 1-1. And less than a minute later, the little Portuguese player Cavaco headed Stockport in front. And that's the score as we reach half-time here at Edgeley Park. Stockport 2, Southampton 1. Stay with us for this.
Stockport County fans beneath the Stockport Zoo.
Richard. Welcome back to Edgeley Park. A real buzz around this ground during the half-time interval, and a huge cheer as Stockport took the field for the second half. Southampton, just to confirm, are bringing on their Israeli international Ayel Berkovic in place of David Hughes. So he's kept up his record of appearing in now 20 consecutive matches since Southampton signed him. And his passing ability and the willingness to run at players with the ball might be something that Southampton are going to need in this second half, which they get underway, now attacking the goal to our right and 2-1 down.
Looks like they've changed the back as well, Alan. I just wondered if they've gone three at the back, Van Obel, Monkow and Madison. Charlton's gone way out on the left-hand side. He'll play that left-hand role. Oakley will play this right one.
Certainly that's the system that Southampton have been playing in most games this season, but Graham Souness tempted to change it because they play with a back four in their only away win in the league at Middlesbrough. Here's Durkin for Stockport. Taking on and Hobble, but can't get around him easily. Let's hear from the Stockport manager, Dave Jones, now.
Dave, what's the game plan? Circle the wagons and hold on?
No, I think you've had your money's worth now. I think everyone should go home. No, we've just got to keep it tight, and as we said against West Ham, a clean sheet really, and it won't be easy, but we're going to keep trying them, not to sit back. I thought free kicks, we were a little bit too deep, so we just tried to get them up a bit, half a yard, and we've just got to keep it going really.
Thanks very much, Dave.
Cheers, George.
Jones talking to George Gavin there as another Flynn long throw hurtles into the Southampton box. Captain in possession again, finding Durkin this time. Taken off him by Oakley. Berkovic gets his first touch, the substitute. Flynn wins it back for Stockport. Red Angel doing really well.
I couldn't agree more with Dave Jones when he said they can't sit back and afford to sit back and just protect it. I think that would be folly. I just have a sneaky feeling, Alan, that they just might need another goal.
Nielsen's clearance. Let's come back out with Flynn, the Stockport captain again. Monkow getting it clear up towards Letizia. He's beaten to it by Connolly. Now Madison. Good header by Angel this time. Marsden's given it away, not like him. He's usually an accurate passer of the ball. Charlton finding Letizia. Southampton try to regroup. Here's Berkovic. On the left. He's chosen a difficult route here. Still got his cross in well. Good safe handling by Paul Jones.
Well, it looked like he was going nowhere, Simon Charlton. He did ever so well to get any sort of cross in at all. Paul Jones's handling had to be good second half against West Ham. I've got the feeling it will need to be as good tonight, if not better.
Oakley launches one. Gannon is underneath it. Bennett finding Armstrong. Good ball on to Durkin. Oh, you could see what he was trying there. He was unlucky. And Hobble read his intentions as well. Todd is a good one. Madison hasn't missed much though at the back. Here's Berkovic. Easily cut out by Gannon. Now Magilton. Charlton rather a lot to do there, too much as it happened. Came on as a substitute at half-time in the league match against Newcastle on Saturday. He's recently lost his place as Matthew Robinson has been preferred by Graham Souness in that wide left position. And there's another ball that has split the Southampton defence, but Armstrong couldn't reach it this time. Stockport do nothing to suggest early in the second half here that they're going to do anything other than come forward.
Funny sort of way when you're not used to it and you're in a big game like this. It's sometimes harder to protect the lead than it is to reduce one. Sometimes easier if you're chasing the game from Stockport's point of view. More comfortable with that. Take chances, go at it, but suddenly you have to protect the lead. Do you get a little bit negative? You just have to wait and see.
Berkovic looking for Letizia. Good ball. Oakley's cross. A great shout of handball from the Southampton fans behind that goal, but only they could see that. It's Berkovic again. And that's a corner. Certainly not the players to pose threats here to Stockport. On Cow, an obvious one. They haven't been that effective from their set pieces yet, the Premiership team.
No, but with Letizia around, you've always got to respect his delivery, his quality.
Wasn't the best ball. Gannon got it away with ease.
He got lucky actually. That wasn't a great header from Gannon. Luckily it dropped to one of his own players.
Oakley, excellent ball. Ostenstadt. Been given to Stockport, that throw. Southampton tonight in their 5th appearance in the quarterfinals in the last 11 seasons. It's a very good record. Ostenstadt offside there. Incidentally, Stockport last season only went out to the eventual winners of this competition, Aston Villa. And that's the only Coca-Cola tie they've lost in their last 12 matches in the competition. Some record. Durkin finding Armstrong, but the header straight from Moncau. Cagey opening to the second half here. Tizier. Well, that looks very haul the Stockport man down, but the referee has waved play on. Tizier looking for Berkovic. Cleared by Todd. Some clearance that was.
Some back pass. Look at Dave Bessett's just giving him a rollicking. I'm not surprised. After what happened against Liverpool with John Barnes, he really fizzed that at his goalkeeper.
Good ball there, Magilton sweeping it out. Charlton beaten to it by Cavaco. Southampton's throw. Madison finding Letizia. Now Ostenstadt. Nielsen's cross. And that's another corner. Many fans have made the long trip up from the south coast tonight, but they're all behind that goal that Southampton are attacking in this half. Good safe handling again by Paul Jones.
Yeah, that's just a little bit too much. A little bit too much air in it from Letizia. This was always going to tempt the goalkeeper, especially one playing with confidence. He's not under pressure, comes into a big gap, takes it cleanly.
This is Tom. Angles it nicely for Armstrong, or Durkin beyond him. It's Durkin who gets there first. Cavaco in towards Angel on the near post, but too close to Besant.
It's nice to see that they're still throwing 3 and 4 men forward into any attack that they put together, Stockport.
attempts to hit it long. Too long. Neil Maddison. And in the opening 10 minutes almost now of the second half, Southampton have seen a lot of possession but haven't really threatened Jones as yet. Magilton. Berkovic taking up a good position. Magilton finds Letizia. Good ball, Berkovic tried to thread it through to Ostenstadt.
I thought if he'd have just opened himself up, Alan, and gone on his own, just to ease it into the 18-yard box, he might well have been through himself.
Here's Magilton for Southampton. Lots of room here for Van Hobble to go forward.
Oh, he's asked a lot there.
And Durkin did his job well. It's not exactly been a storm that Stockport have weathered, but certainly they haven't had as much possession in the Southampton half as they enjoyed for most of the first half. And Hobble has to get away from Angel here and played that one in almost too short.
Well, Dave Bessett's given him a rollicking. Yeah, that one actually sat up just as Dave Bessett went to clear it.
Stockport have got themselves a free kick. Connolly out there. Todd. This is Durkin. Angel and Armstrong both in a good position in the penalty area, and Charlton knew he had to take no risks there in the corner.
Yeah, they worked out really well. That's the trouble when you only have one wide. Matt Oakley, they've got 2 against 1 against Oakley. Worked it really well. Just a little bit too much on it for Angel.
Looks like an in-swinger coming up from Marsden. A good ball too to that near post. They were in a bit of trouble for a moment, Southampton, till Maddison got it away.
Well, that was a chance. That was a good delivery into the near post. Actually, Mike Flynn, who went up and completely missed the ball.
And Graham Souness seemingly about to introduce a second substitute here, as Letizia, the captain, has possession. And Hobble runs into trouble against Marsden. It away from Besant's kick. And Flynn does the same job. Good challenge by Magilton, but Bennett was stronger still. Excellent run by Armstrong. He's taken up a good position there wide on the right, and he has Angel as a target in the middle. Oof. Only just cleared. Durkin gets it back to Angel, and still Angel, and then Tobacco tried to get the shot in, and in the end they just simply had too many bodies. But here comes Todd.
He tried to go on his own, a little unlucky, and he managed to get that through Alan Nielsen's legs. He was right through.
After a quiet sort of opening to the half, it's opening up again now, this game, coming up to an hour play. Stockport still in front and on the attack here with Durkin.
Great ball from Marsden now.
Armstrong just behind Angel, who got the first header in. Goal kick though. And now Southampton will make their change. And I and it's Neil Madison who's going to be replaced here by Lundik Van, the Norwegian. Missed the last couple of games after playing in every game before that since they signed him in September. What do you make of that one then, Andy?
Well, what I think he'll try and do with him is he'll go and play in the centre of the three. And what he'll try and do is when they have the ball, he'll influence the game out from the back. That means step forward and come into the play. I think with Madison, Moncow and Van Hobel in the back, no, none of them were prepared to step forward. I think Graham Souness would have said to Lundvik, when we have the ball, you step forward and try and play or go and join in. As soon as we lose it, you've got to drop back and form a three. Or maybe it was Van Hobel that was talking before.
He certainly is this time.
Certainly one of them's got to go now. You think about it and go and join the play.
Tizier looks for Ostenstadt. Charlton's in behind him, Magilton ahead of him. No problem again for Paul Jones.
Well, if Charlton had given Ostenstadt a shout, just to let him know he was behind them, he was completely free.
Maybe Lundik Van's extra height will be an additional quality for Southampton here against Angel.
I don't think they're worried about that. That's the last thing. It might be an addition at the other end, Alan. Certainly I don't think he's worried about Angel.
Good ball there, Todd, looking for the man down the right, Durgan, and certainly Lundik Van introduced himself to the game impressively with that interception. It clear to Angel, and Big Bam got himself in a bit of a trouble there, but now Angel has the ball and sets it up for Cavaco. Angel's in a great position here, and he just pulled it back too deep for Bennett, who's still got the shot in, and they might have made more of that actually, Andy.
He was a little unlucky. The ball back to Bennett, whether it was deliberate or whether it looked to me as if Cavaco was actually trying to take Moncow on himself. Played it a little bit too firmly. There's no doubt Bennett wanted it in his right foot. Ended up backing away from goal.
Lundik Van. Took a couple of risks then. Berkovic. Now Magilton. They've got to do better than that. They really have.
Yeah, that's a tough ball. Look down at the ground in front of him. Yeah, that's a tough ball. Played straight like that with that much pace.
Gannon. It's a bit loose. Enabling Nielsen to come in, but it was won back by Connolly and it's reached Cavaco. Angel well placed, Armstrong in behind him, and that's a corner.
Well, that's a chance. He was looking at Angel and Armstrong, certainly from here. I know it's a lot easier from here, but the back post looked the easier target. Certainly signed where the offside, was he not? Maybe Van Hobel in this near side is the one playing them all on. But the good crossover run from the front two. Angel's run's a good one. Armstrong was the one who had a little bit of space back post.
Cow got it away. Little Cavaco going in strongly, and in fact I think it was a foul by him that has given Southampton a free kick.
Probably at a time they didn't want it. Just having won the header, they were about to break with Berkovic on the ball.
And Southampton are about to send on their third and of course final substitute, Bobby Slater, the Australian international, will give them some extra pace and width. Game is getting to an increasingly crucial stage now. We already know 3 of the semi-finalists in this season's Coca-Cola Cup competition. I was at Ipswich last night to see Leicester impressively dispose of them to take their place. They'll play Wimbledon over 2 legs. Middlesbrough lie in wait for another 2-legged semi-final against the winners of this tie.
Well, I know Brian Robson's actually here tonight, Alan, watching this match. But certainly for what, well over an hour, they'll have certainly been impressed with the way Stockport have played. It's all about concentration for them now. They lost it once in the first half and made a heavy penalty and they went a goal down.
But now they've got a break on here with Armstrong. Besant's come a lawful long way from goal and had to and did well.
Well done, the goalkeeper. That's what you call a good starting position. He must have been out here at the edge of his box, because if he wasn't, then Armstrong's through, but because he was out, he was able to just come and quite comfortably get there.
25 minutes between Southampton and defeat between Stockport, and almost unbelievably a place in the semi-finals of the Coca-Cola Cup. Gannon wins the header, but it's dropped unluckily for him straight to Berkovic, and now Oakley. Oakley's cross too flat, straight at Tobacco, but it's rebounded to Magilton, now Lundikvan. Huge cheers as Flynn gets it clear. Looked like a foul then by Moncau, not given on the halfway line. Oakley. Given away by Gannon. But he did well to come and win it back. Needs a bit of help now.
They've got to be careful. We all know that they like playing the ball about. I think we've seen them enough to see that. But at times at the back, when you're protecting a lead like this, you don't want to be sticking short, little, nervy balls into your midfield, the way that Jim Gannon's tried once or twice. And I think his manager would be far happier on this occasion, in the last 25 minutes of this match, to see him play over the top and let the front two chase it into the corners.
Robbie Slater on for Simon Charlton. And that will presumably need another slight reorganisation of the formation for the Saints. Still 2-1 down here.
Well, it looks like Nielsen's gone wide on that left side. Slater in the central area.
Marsden meantime for Stockport, given away to Van Hobbel. Lundikvan. Not too many Englishmen out there for Southampton at the moment, are there? Ostenstad brushed aside by Gannon. There's some weary legs now out there for Stockport, it seems, and ominously for them, Southampton enjoying a great deal more possession now in this second half.
I think you would have expected that Southampton would have more of the ball. They've certainly gone for it in every sense. Southampton with the substitutions, they're going man for man at the back. They're taking that chance. An awful lot of forward-thinking players in that team now. They need the skipper to influence them a little bit more.
Because for all their possession, Paul Jones in the Stockport goal hasn't had a save to make yet in this half. A couple of fine catches, but no shots or headers to deal with. Slater gets his first touch. Turned forward by Van Hobbel towards Letizia. It comes out to Ostenstad. Todd with an excellent ball forward. Armstrong. He's got Brett Angel up in support and Tobacco arriving. Disappointing ball. Now Berkovic. Here's the threat, of course, for Southampton that Stockport will break as they did then. Gilton. Lundikvan. Wide again to Nielsen. It's a good looking cross.
It's a great header.
And pressure mounts on the second division side. Berkovic. Clever little ball and chip forward, and Jones makes a brilliant save.
Great vision and great goalkeeping. Lovely run from Nielsen. The ball was played perfectly. It's a little bit behind him, so he can't get power in the shot. But he tries to delicately chip it over Jones. Goalkeeper, good quick feet, enables him to get back.
Superb goalkeeping, but he's got another problem here, and it's smacked against the bar from Moncal's header, or was it Van Hobble?
Van Hobble, yeah.
Well, Jones was beaten for once this time.
This is a better delivery from Matt Matisse. It's given his team a chance to go and attack the ball. He's unlucky, Van Hobble, because he's only a little bit too high for him. Gets him in the top of the head, so he can't get it down. Just in the top. Can't get above it enough to direct it down.
20 minutes to go. Stockport under the cosh a little bit in the last few minutes for sure. Marsden for that. Again. Yet again it comes back to him. Now Todd. Good ball for Brett Angel. And for handball there. The referee has seen it as well. Dickman the culprit. Down forward, and indeed Flynn. Angel being roughly handled by Moncal in the scramble in the penalty area here. It's hard to go back up. Good strong back from Marsden.
You can't say I said Southampton were going for it now. I think those action areas show that almost half the game this second half been played in the defensive third.
Stockport attacking here. Clearance by Moncal. And it comes through to Armstrong, who's onside. It's an excellent effort.
Good strike.
Letizier. Flynn's clearance. Angel will chase, but he's been given offside. Let's remind you of the number to ring for your vote for tonight's man of the match. It's 0891 111101. That's 0891 111101. Give us a call now. It's your vote that counts. And this really is at a fascinating stage now, this tie.
So like the second half against West Ham.
There's Robbie Slater for Southampton. Rundikva. A little ball forward. Helped on by Berkovic to Oakley.
Well, that's what you don't want. Moncal stayed up. So important. So important. The ball's played there that Oakley produces. He's been quiet, Matt Oakley, tonight. He's not had an awful lot. Not been involved a lot, but it's not a difficult cross. He's got time, he's got space to play it into. Just a two-wheeler. Every little decision like that, Alan, that goes Stockport's way is a little blessing. And just take the time, just kill the game slightly. I can't believe they want to throw men forward these last, 15, 16 minutes of this match.
Well, they flirted with danger. That's saved by Jones from Nielsen. The Hobble header against the crossbar, but they're holding on to their 2-1 lead. And Dave Jones on the verge of an historic achievement. And by the way, no club has changed manager more often than Stockport. No one in the 4 divisions since the war. He's their 26th different manager. If he holds on to the job for much longer, he'll probably make history as well. Marsden to Todd. Marsden caught in possession. Slater leads the counter-attack. Did well, Marsden, to stop him in his tracks. So Jilton finds Nielsen. Berkovic. Jilton. Easy for the goalkeeper, he really telegraphed that one.
Well, I'm not too sure what was looking for Jim Magilton. You do need something to happen for him, but this was just, when you're central like that, that's a really difficult ball that he's looking to play. And he gives it so much air that it makes it easy for the goalkeeper.
Well, I was at the Dell on Saturday, and then Southampton were 2-0 down with 7 minutes to go, in fact with a couple of minutes to go, and got back and rescued that game. And they do it again tonight. Hang on to their place in the Coca-Cola Cup, and what's a massively important game for them. They're on the back foot here as Lundikvam sees Armstrong in the corner of his eye and control that really well. But now he's brushed aside by Angel. Jilton to his rescue. And Hobble. Into Ostenstadt. And every single clearance is greeted with a huge cheer now by the home fans, who are getting increasingly anxious now in the last quarter of an hour. Slater and Hobble. Looks for Ostenstadt in the box, and he's done well here, the big Norwegian. Good ball too for Angel, but he had to hesitate because he would have been offside, and that's why it didn't go any further.
Well, it would have been interesting if he elected to go himself, the young lad. Could have just nicked it over the top into all that grass and just gone after it. But that's all we need to do. Say all we need to do. I would say that's set for the next 15 minutes, is keep your 4 and 4 as a unit back there. And when you get the chance and it's tight, just help it over, as they've done now. Push up from the back, get a bit of breathing space, and go again.
Armstrong's had a really excellent game. He's run in this half, hasn't he? Trying to close down defenders and make a little bit of room and time for
well, he's got the young legs, hasn't he?
Yep.
But Angel, as you say, missed the weekend and looking a little bit tired. With a lot of games you've said this season, that's quite right. His pitches look sticky, and it would take a lot out of you.
He's had a thigh problem, Angel. And he much played in his place at the weekend. Now, Angel takes up a good position here, but the cross was very disappointing.
Pity. The rest of it was to admire.
Let's remind you about 2 nights of big fight action coming up in February. Prince Nassim Hamed's unification fight against Tom Johnson. Lennox Lewis trying to regain his heavyweight title against Oliver McCall. 2 of 5 world title fights to be seen on Sky Box Office. For more information on this special pay-per-view event, call us on 0990 800 888. 0990 800 888.
And while you were talking about that event, Alan, they've moved Ken Moncau now. Liam Souness was out and he's just pushed him right up front.
Offside here, Letizia.
So they're just taking a real gamble now. I think you have to do that in the cup ties. Something that happens, you've got your big lad there, Moncau, he'll be an aerial threat. You can launch it forward now from back to front, get people in on top of it, try and get a bit of sustained pressure for the last 12 minutes. You know, for all the ball that they've had, only those 2 instances, the Nielsen attempted chip and the header from a corner, only 2 threats that Stockport have had against them in the second half.
Angel worrying Van Hobble into the clearance there, which has given them a throw.
I tell you what, David Jones is more adventurous than I'd be as a manager. He sent one centre-back to take the throw and the other centre-back up into the penalty area.
Fortune favours the brave, and the flick on was tempting, but no one in ahead of Bessant, who looks immediately for Ostenstadt in the other half. And again, Marsden just calmed it all down. They've beaten Blackburn, they've beaten West Ham, they've beaten Sheffield United of the First Division. Can they beat Southampton and take their place in the last 4 of the Coca-Cola Cup? Can Stockport make history?
I think he's given a free kick against Van Hobble. I think he must, hands up, it's got to be for obstruction. He feels it whether he just obstructed him as he was going through to close the goalkeeper down.
He's furious, Van Hobble. Let's see.
Yeah. I tell you what, it's a harsh decision. There's not an awful lot.
Very harsh. And Stockport will accept the gift with 10 minutes to go. And again, the centre-backs have gone forward. The free kick.
Right, just touching it, this.
Spot on. And he was as well, Durkin, but so was Dave Besant. Southampton come forward now with Nielsen. Time running out for them. Magilta. The blue shirts funnel in behind the ball again. Here's Letizia. Ooh, Jones has dropped it. And got away with a little bit of fortune you need.
Well, he said got away. I tell you, is it Lee Todd who gets back in here? I mean, this is a nothing shot, it's just bobbling about. Probably frightened of the reputation more than anything, Paul Jones there. Expected something a lot better.
And comes for it again, he's missed it. And a chance here, surely. And it comes to Van Hobble, but he's missed it too. And suddenly, it's Stockport breaking clear. Armstrong, Slater up against him. Oh, that's a great ball. Cavaco puts it on to Bennett. Cavaco again. Up for Angel in the middle. And Southampton just about hold on. They come again, Stockport. Oh, what a side they are. What a credit to their club and their manager and to the second division. Moncau, an emergency striker, turns it forward, but Stockport are solid again at the back.
This is going to be a long 8 minutes for anyone wearing blue and white tonight, I can certainly Stockport.
Spot on. Here's Slater. And Hobble. Angel back defending now as Berkovic goes forward. Moncau lays it off.
Everyone's been a bit too central, and that's better ball from Magilta in the right area. And you've just got to widen it a bit. They've been so central in everything they've tried to do for the majority of the second half. For all the players that are in there, just haven't produced enough width, got it wide enough and stretched Stockport.
Let's give you that phone number again for your vote for man of the match. It's 0891 111101. 0891 111101. Southampton have a free kick in their own half here. Minutes to go. Stockport 2, Southampton 1. Berkovic for the Premiership side. Letizia. This is Magilta. And in the centre, Moncau and Ostenstadt wait for the cross, which comes in now and is flicked on towards Moncau. Slater will keep it in play, will he? No, he's happy for the throw.
What a difference so on. You see what I mean? They put a bit of width into it, got it wide to Nielsen, and suddenly there was more of a threat. Oh, they've gone to sleep, Stockport. Quick throw.
Oakley, back to Slater, queuing up for the cross. And Jones just got a fingertip to it. It's another corner.
Well, they might regret getting that fingertip. I always thought that was clear in the crossbar. But like so many goalkeepers, they make sure it's going. I just wonder in 10 seconds time he regrets it.
Jones has missed it, and to his huge relief, here's the referee's whistle sound for a free kick to Stockport. He's having the wobbles.
Well, Ostenstadt didn't do it. He's certainly around the goalkeeper. He's backing into him. They both go up, miss it. He's looking at Lundvik arm as well, coming in behind. Oh, it wouldn't have mattered. pretty much 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Berkovic finds Slater. This is Ostenstadt. Gannon is the defender. This will be a free kick. That would be fatal. Tired clearance has gone straight to Magilton. Good skill by him. Berkovic gets into a good position and finds Ostenstadt. Danger here, surely it's in! Southampton have equalised with 5 minutes to go.
Well, the pressure's told in the end. Poor clearance from the corner. They didn't get the ball away. And this is probably one of the poorest shots Ostenstadt will hit. Berkovic threads it all. He tongues it well, but he seems to hit the ground. It's a low bobbler, but it's a low bobbler into the corner. And what a priceless goal this might be for Graham Souness' side. Does well to turn. Doesn't get the shot. Even the little flick of Cavaco might well have been an important touch. Might even have gone wide.
So Southampton, in the dying stages of this game, have got themselves level. Ostenstadt's second goal, and now they're thinking in terms of a winner. This is Oakley. Letizia. It's done well, Letizia, and that took a little flick as well, which could have wrong-footed Jones, but he kept his eyes on the ball well. Well, you can't say the warning signs weren't there for Stockport. They have been for most of this second half. Are they looking at a replay at the Dell? Can they snatch victory themselves, or will it be Southampton in the last few minutes here?
It's been a smashing cup tie, and it's very similar lines to the one against West Ham, Alan, but the difference has been that I think Southampton, you always felt, had more of a goal threat about them. Phil Marks, the manager as well, because he went for it, got on 3 players that could influence the game forward.
Easy one for Besant. 3 minutes on the watch, and not too much stoppage time, I would think, only for the substitutions or whatever the referee has decided to add. I don't recall either physio being on at all this half. And Ostenstadt's there and looks for Letizia.
Well, if he'd have headed it, he'd have put Letizia in.
Moncau's now gone back to a defensive role. Gannon gets it away. This is Slater. Hobble. It's a good ball. Berkovic slides it in again. And Hobble's shot takes a deflection, and that's a corner. 2 minutes to go. Stockport, who had a 2-1 lead for so long in this game, now find themselves defending. 4 attempts from Ostenstadt. 3 of them on target. 2 of them found the back of the net. Towards Moncau, touched away by the goalkeeper. And Stockport break clear themselves. Armstrong. Just overrun it. That's good work by Connolly. And a handball has given Stockport a free kick. A minute to go at Edgeley Park. Stockport County 2, Southampton 2. Is there to be late drama here?
Well, it might come at the other end.
Slater looking for Ostenstadt. Just turned away by Flynn, but Ostenstadt in possession. Slater's made a great run here, and it's angled forward to Letizia, who can finish it here.
Letitia knows that's a golden chance. The pace in the shot that allowed the Flynn to get back in, but this is a chance of the match for Letitia. Great defending from the skipper. Keeps his side in the tournament.
Unbelievable stuff. Letitia really ought to have won the game there for Southampton, without doubt. Now it's Stockport on the attack. Armstrong. Good defending from Moncow. Didn't he do well there? Stoppage time being played now. Robbie Slater. Letitia down the right-hand side. Looks for Ostenstadt, far post. And the header drops just where Stockport would have wanted it. Cavaco. The run is by Angel, but the defending from Moncow was precise. And the referees inadvertently helped Southampton out. I think that's why he decided that was the moment diplomatically to blow the final whistle. And Graham Souness, for the second game in succession, has seen his team get off the hook in the dying moments of a match. Ostenstadt with 2 goals, the one that gave his side the lead, the one that rescued their place in the Coca-Cola Cup and sends this match to a replay at Liddell. Dave Jones' side cover themselves in enormous glory and credit again. Letitia could and probably should have won it in the last minute for Southampton, but Flynn's goal line clearance makes him one of the heroes of the night. And Stockport can be proud of their display here, and they're still in the competition. That's the important thing. This is how the goals came about. Ostenstadt, 16 minutes gone, against the run of play, gave Southampton the lead. And then Angel linked up brilliantly with Armstrong. Lovely finish. It was 1-1. They were celebrating, but they had an even bigger thing to cheer less than a minute later. Wonderful header by Cavaco, and it was 2-1 to Stockport. And it remained that way for so long before Ostenstadt scrambled that one in. 2-2 the final score. And the second division side has held another team from the Premiership. And who in their right mind would bet against them doing something special even in the replay at Liddell. We shall see. The final score here at Edgeley Park tonight: Stockport County 2,